The watch was simple, elegant, silver with thin engravings. A wedding gift, it represented a future full of hope. He promised to protect her. She promised to always wait for him. They wore their promises on their wrists, a symbol of their unbreakable bond. Life was beautiful, they thought. They were young. They were in love. Their wedding day was filled with laughter, dancing, and dreams. They held each other tightly. The watch shimmered in the candlelight. They were starting their life together. The future stretched out before them, full of unknown possibilities. Nothing, they thought, could break their bond. Then came the war. It swept across the country like a dark and terrible storm. It tore families apart. It devoured happiness and left only grief in its wake. He was called to the front. She stayed home, her heart full of fear. She watched him go, and her heart broke. He promised to return. She clung to that promise like a beacon of hope in the gathering darkness. She kissed her watch, silently praying for his safety. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, months into years. Silence, only silence. Now she was alone, fighting for survival. The war was taking its toll. Food was scarce, hope was fading. She held her daughter close, her thin arms a fragile shield against the cold. Her daughter, her precious child, was all she had left. The child was getting weaker. She needed medicine. Medicine was a luxury they couldn't afford. Despair gripped her. She looked at the watch on her wrist, at her husband's promise. A sob escaped her. She had to make a choice. A mother's love is the strongest force on earth. The war finally ended. It left scars, visible and invisible. She emerged from the ruins, her spirit unbroken, but her heart heavy with loss. She survived. Her daughter survived, but he was gone. Years passed. The silence continued, an unbearable emptiness. She had lost hope. She mourned him as a widow mourns. Then, one ordinary day, a miracle. He was standing at the door. He had come home. His return was a joyous occasion. Tears flowed, stories were told, and laughter filled the small house once more. He held her tightly, his arms strong. He was thin, his face etched with the horrors he had endured, but he was alive. He noticed her wrist. "Where are yours?" he asked, his voice hoarse with emotion. She looked away, her heart filled with a familiar ache. "Gone," she whispered, like so much else. He listened patiently as she told him about their daughter, about the war, about the watches. He smiled then, a sad, thoughtful smile. "I understand," he said. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet pouch. He carefully opened it, his calloused fingers trembling slightly. Inside, nestled in soft cloth, lay 2 silver watches. Their watches. "But how?" she asked, her voice trembling with excitement. He told her about the chaos of war, how he was captured, about the kindness of a stranger. He told her how he found the watches on a fallen soldier, a soldier from his village. A life, it seemed, had decided to surprise them. Their joy, however, was short-lived. Their daughter, now a mischievous little girl, discovered the watches. She was fascinated by their shiny surfaces, their intricate engravings. In a burst of childish curiosity, she took them outside to play. She ran through the garden, her laughter echoing in the summer air. She tripped, falling onto the soft earth. The watches slipped from her hands, disappearing into the tall grass. They searched for hours, but the watches were gone, lost again. He held her then, his own eyes filled with sadness. "It's all right," he whispered, stroking her hair. "Some things are not meant to stay with us." He promised her new watches, even more beautiful than the old ones. He would work hard, saving every penny. Time, he knew, could not erase the past. He kept his promise. A few months later, he gave her new watches. They weren't the same, of course, but they were a symbol of his eternal love, a testament to their resilience. Time, they realized, moves forward. The new watches became their most treasured possession, a reminder of all they had lost and all they had found. They wore them every day, the steady ticking a comforting rhythm in their lives. The old watches, the ones that were lost, found and lost again, became a family legend. A story whispered to grandchildren gathered around a warm hearth, a story of love, of loss, of the unbreakable power of hope. A story that echoed with every tick of the clock, a timeless reminder of the precious and fragile nature of life.